Doug Collins, Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Secretary, it's good to have you with us today on Newsline, sir.
Yeah, it's good to be with you.
I don't know who that donor is. Perhaps you do. That's a good chunk of change, though. Incredible.
No, it is, but it just shows the best of America while we're also seeing the worst of what is basically a Democrat shutdown in Congress. And, this country understands what needs to happen. And unfortunately, right now, that's not happening on Capitol Hill, and it's affecting all of us. So it's heartwarming to see, but it also could be avoided in such easy ways. And I think that's what's frustrating everybody.
Yeah, it also shows President Trump's, business acumen, the fact that so many people in business and technology and world leaders respect him, that someone would cut a check for that type of, it's incredible. So let's talk about what is happening to veterans. We know that you have VA hospitals that are open, people can get care, but there has been a question about disability and checks. What is the Schumer shutdown doing right now to our veterans who really rely on this? Secretary.
Yeah. Well, as you're right, the hospitals, clinics, all of our medical services, suicide prevention, all those things are actually working. So in our crisis lines, the My VA 411, all those things are still operating. People can get that help. And we are sending out disability benefits. The payments and all those are still going in a advanced funding format. What it is doing, though, is it's actually beginning to take effect of our outward facing, getting people processed. And one of the areas, Young, if I could tell you about, is people who are transitioning out or have transitioned out of the military or been out of the military, looking to get into a new career, looking to get skills, getting the equipment they need. All of that is shut down right now. So you have people who are trying to get into a career or counseling, and they can't talk to anyone. And I think that's become very concerning for people who gave, their part of their life to serve this country. But yet now, because of this shutdown, the Democrats' refusal to open the government, we can't get them the help that they need, and we can't get them the money that they need for that as we go farther. So there's just a lot of frustration and uncertainty going forward for veterans, and I just want to make sure that we're going to do everything we can to make sure we're doing especially the health care and the benefits. But there's a lot of things right now where the access to the VA is being slowed down because of the shutdown.
Of course. I mean, how could it not be? 30,000 VA employees furloughed. This is also a difficult time of the year. A lot of veterans, they struggle with PTSD. Suicide has been a huge issue that, from our brave men and women, the heroes. This is a time where outreach is important for them to have a ability, if they've returned home, to know that they're going to be integrated. And you're talking about counseling. You're talking about people who want to be back here in life. And that's a hard transition, Secretary Collins, for a lot of folks. And, we want to keep them to be encouraged and not discouraged here.
Oh, exactly right. In fact, it's the most critical time that we see in the propensity for death by suicide is in that first few years out of the service, trying to adjust back to life in outside the military. So it is concerning to us in many ways. And look, there's a lot of also other constituent, things that are happening right now. For instance, one of the things that's not often talked about is by not extending the government and some things that we're having. We've had regional offices that are closed. We have our office in Manila, the Philippines, which transacts a lot of issues for disabilities for our veterans who are overseas, is shut down right now, and not just shut down. They've not authorized it to continue. So it's really concerning when you look around and just see what is not being done and when it should be solved. And if I'm sort of frustrated when I hear Kathleen Clark, the second highest ranking Democrat in the House, say that yes, we're going to cause pain on the on families and veterans because that's our only leverage. I'm sorry, Ms. Clark, the people of this country are not your leverage. Your leverage is to get in and actually, do what you're supposed to do. And you chose to vote no. There's 3 votes you could make. You could do yes, no, or present. You chose to vote no. There's no such thing as perfect. And, right now, it was your group and Democrats who put in the time limit on these Obamacare subsidies that are happening right now. Y'all chose to let them run out. You could have extended them permanently. You chose not to. So let's quit playing the dance game here. Let's admit it's about elections and pleasing a base and move on.
Information. Truth is freedom. is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.